Here's Jeff Hostetler, the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders. Of course, 9 years with the New York Jets. He said, this is the perfect time to play here at the Meadowlands. You get into November and December, and it is cold and windy. He's taken by Kidd on the return, and he is out near the 30-yard line. And here is Hostetler after that 20-yard return, the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders. And here is the offense that he will be operating. Here's that offensive line. How good is it?
It's good enough. And Steve Wisniewski, I'll tell you, at left guard is a stud. I like him. They call him dirty. I say he's aggressive.
Dirty? Well, he got fined $10,000 last week.
For being aggressive.
All right. And the backs and receivers.
Joe Aska, keep an eye on this young man. 5'11", 240, runs a 4.340.
Number 35, he is the tailback as they start from the 30-yard line. And here is Aska with a call. And he has 8 yards on the play. So second down and 2. Here's the defense of the New York Jets as Mo Lewis made that last tackle. Here's the front four.
Well, this is a wounded New York Jets team. I mean, face it, Hugh Douglas isn't in there. Marvin Jones isn't at middle linebacker, and they're going to attack the center of that defensive line.
Eric Howard also out, linebackers in secondary. As Aska gets the call. 41-yard line. He needed 2, he gets 3. That's going to give him the first down.
And both times, Charlie, right up behind the middle of that offensive line of the Raiders. Going right behind Wisniewski, Robbins, and Gogan. A lot of girth, a lot of wide backsides in there. And Wisniewski can drive block. He can get on a guy and absolutely plant him in the ground.
Derek Finner is the fullback. He is the lead blocker for Joe Aska. Hostetler to throw. He comes back underneath the coverage to Tim Brown. And Tim is going to go to the 50-yard line. That will be a pickup of 9 yards on the play. Now, Tim Brown is averaging only 10.5 yards of reception. That is a career low.
Well, he's averaging less really than Wayne Corbett. But the thing to watch on that play is definitely Joe Aska at running back. Joe Aska steps up. Spindler gets free. He gets him when he gets free, and that's what gives Hostetler the time to complete that pass to Brown.
Second down in the yard. And here is Aska again. Nice roll right side. And it's a first down at the Jet 43-yard line. Mike Chilinsky makes the tackle for New York.
Charlie, 240-pound halfback that can run a 4.3, and you saw the acceleration. Here's a guy that in college was a 55-meter sprint champion at Central Oklahoma. So you know out of the blocks, this guy flies.
First down Raiders. Their second first down in this opening drive. And here is Aska. And he is clogged up at the line of scrimmage by Mark Spindler. One of the few times that he has been stopped for no gain since he has been playing. That goes back to the latter part of the San Diego game a couple of weeks ago.
Well, watch Spindler in the middle. He's going right up there against Robbins. He stuffs him back into the backfield. Good job by the whole inside of that Jets defense. And if you can get a runner like an Aska, any runner for that matter, having to change his mind towards the line of scrimmage on defense, you've done at least 75% of your job.
This is the opening drive of the ball game. Play action fake to Aska. Wanted to go deep, reads deep first, comes back short. And he comes back to Ricky Dudley, the tight end.
You know, that's a part of the offense, Jeff Hostetler, for his health and for his confidence. He has got to have Ricky Dudley being a part of this offense.
Here's what you were talking about, 24 straight opening drives without a touchdown. And they face now third down and 7.
And Charlie, when you're playing the Jets, a wounded, weak team, field goals do you no good. You've got to have touchdowns against this team.
Raiders with 3 wide receivers. Flag is down. The give is to Aska. He is down at the 40-yard line. He'll lose a yard if the play stands up.
Well, Derek Finner fell out of his stance before the ball was snapped.
Jets will refuse it.
Illegal motion. Number 34 moved at the snap. Penalty is refused. 4th down.
Well, actually, Charlie, if you move at the snap, it's not illegal. It's moving before the snap. That's not really a good idea.
So Jeff Gossett will be kicking in. That number that we saw a moment ago, 24, now goes to 25.
And the ever-increasing number of key Raider penalties. The most penalized team in the league just keeps on keeping on at what they do worst.
Wayne Corbett is back deep. Aaron Glenn is also back. And it's going to be down at the 1-yard line. 39 yards on the punt. The Jets will start in the shadow of their own goalpost with no score when we come back.
And now from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser, born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
What if you could take on a whole new image? Would you be more elegant? More dynamic? More comfortable? One of the world's best performing luxury cars has an almost entirely new identity. The new Q45 from Infiniti. Everything changes, but the soul.
Anyone who hangs around an emergency room long enough is going to see some violent things. Knifings, gang fights, muggings. But the very worst thing I ever heard of was an 8-year-old boy who'd been shot point blank in the face by another 8-year-old. You know, we gotta start talking to our kids about violence. If they don't hear about it from us, they might find out all on their own.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Infiniti, #1 car line and customer satisfaction according to J.D. Power and Associates. By True Value, the official hardware store of the NFL. By Allstate, for home, auto, life, and business insurance, being in good hands is the only place to be. And by First Brands Corporation, makers of STP Complete Fuel System Cleaner.
One of the most famous skylines in the world that you were seeing behind the billboards, and the Jets now will start from their own 2-yard line. First opportunity on offense, and the quarterback is Neil O'Donnell. The Jets, as you know, are 0-5. The completions that he has, the most completions in the NFL this year. And here's Adrian Morrell as expected. The Jets to count completely on that running attack if they can do it. Oakland wants to shut him down and force Neil O'Donnell to beat him. Here's a look at the Jet offensive line.
Well, Neil O'Donnell's a local guy. He's seen a lot of that skyline, but that skyline right there in front of you is the skyline he's the most worried about. That line's playing well. They got to keep it up.
The key, Adrian Morrell, the running back.
It really is. And Kyle Brady at tight end. He's got to stop being a third offensive tackle and start getting away from people and catching passes.
2nd down and 8. O'Donnell to throw from the end zone, has good protection, throws in the coverage, pass is caught, and it's Wayne Corbett at 5'10", 185 pounds, the forgotten wide receiver, but now with the injuries, and he has the great hands.
Well, you know, if it looks hard and it's a circus catch and the Jets absolutely have to have it, the guy that seemed they had given up on in the offseason with all their free agent signings is the guy this year that's going to make the catch, leading this team with 25 catches, and they cannot afford to lose Corbett or a wide receiver at that fact.
Corbett comes limping out of the ballgame, and now the Jets with 4 wide receivers. This is something that the Raiders secondary is worried about. Dumps it off. Everybody was covered deep. He goes to Richie Anderson, and he fights his way. Let's see if he gets the mark. Close to the first down.
Well, he's going to have it, Charlie, and honestly, not a very good job here by Larry Brown. Number 24, signed as a free agent by the Raiders, spent a lot of money on the Super Bowl MVP. Be aggressive, come up, make the tackle. he made a comment this week about, gee, I can't see how they can play me because I don't really know the plays. Well, he might not know the plays, he might not know the defenses, but last time I checked, a guy that experienced does know how to tackle.
Jets with a first down at their own 12-yard line. Here's a sweep to the near side with Morrell around the corner and out of bounds 20-yard line. He'll pick up 8 yards on the play. Lorenzo Lynch chases him out, and let's look at that defense of the Oakland Raiders, the front four.
This is strong, the strength of the team. Chester McLaughlin is the leader of this defense, despite all those big names.
Linebackers in secondary?
I think extremely strong. The problems for him have been at cornerback. Today, Trapp and Lewis are going to start. Brown's going to have to step up and play.
There's Rich Kotite, the head coach of the Jets. Ball at the 20-yard line. No score in the ball game. 8:50 time remaining first quarter. Opening drive for the Jets. To give us to the first back through, and that's Richie Anderson. Anderson is only carry. That only is his 19th carry of the season. And the reception that he had a moment ago, only his 13th. Basically, he's there as a lead blocker and a very good one. Picks up 5 yards to the 25 and a first down.
Charlie, the Jets are doing what we said they have to do, and that's run the ball, finish blocks, and Adrian Morrell is the key. Get in there, churn those legs, do your blocking. There it was Anderson, but the running backs are following the blocks.
Jets at their own 25, started the 2, sweep to the left side. Here's Morrell. Morrell pops loose around the corner, close to 10 yards on the play. Near the first down marker, Rob Fredrickson, the linebacker, and Dan Land out of the secondary moves up. They move up to stop him, and we'll have an official's timeout for a measurement.
Well, this start shows you something that I think is prevalent in the NFL right now. Not only do teams enjoy beating the Raiders, they have no respect for them. They are not treating the Raiders like some kind of special team. They're coming right out here against a defense full of alleged stars and first-round draft picks, and they're just taking it right to them and smashing them in the face.
First down. Back-to-back first downs for the Jets. Adrian Morrell now 3 carries, has rushed for 20 yards. And already this will be the 7th play of the drive. An absolutely sun-drenched afternoon here at the Meadowlands. The temperature in the mid-60s. Perfect day for football. Cool and crisp.
When this front four is being effective, Charlie, is when they're penetrating. If they're not penetrating, they're getting blocked.
Corbett back in the ball game. He's the motion man, and we've got flags. Usually when it comes up that quickly, it's a false start.
False start prior to the snap. Number 87. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on Webster Slaughter.
Charlie, after 36 years, it's got to be very easy to pick those out. I mean, and I know you're not clairvoyant, but after this long, it can't be that hard.
Anything that happens that quickly, it narrows them down. I've seen a lot of false starts in my life, on and off the field. Okay, we have 7:20 and counting, time remaining in the first quarter, scoreless. The Raiders took the opening kickoff. They had to punt. The Jets started at the 2. Here's Morrell. Just kind of jumping around for a couple of yards to the 32-yard line. So it's going to be second down and 13.
Yeah, I like Adrian Morrell. Another guy on this Jets team, kind of like Corbett, that at the beginning of the season, you didn't hear much about him. All you heard about was the millions on the tackles and the millions spent on the quarterback and the millions spent on Keyshawn Johnson. This guy is quietly, I said it before, I'll say it again, I think he's got a legitimate shot at 1,000 yards if that skyline up front takes care of their business.
3 wide receivers, O'Donnell to throw. Breaks away, gets pressure, throws it away. Corbett was the closest possible receiver. Webster Slaughter is down, grabbing the back of his right leg, right behind the knee.
And the importance of a Webster Slaughter injury, we saw Corbett go off earlier. You know, Jeff Graham injured himself, he injured his knee last week, and that obviously looks there like that hamstring caught up on him in the middle of that route. And, you know, Graham's playing with a dinged up knee. Keyshawn Johnson's out with the arthroscopic surgery on the cartilage. They can't lose a wide receiver. Otherwise, it's two tight ends slam the ball. Very predictable.
What if you could take on a whole new image? Would you be more elegant? More dynamic?
6 weeks. That's not what he told Lynn Berman, though.
Well, he said a week and a half to 2 weeks. They missed him on a third down like that as the ball's batted down. But Charlie, honestly, Keyshawn in 2 weeks against Buffalo on this carpet after a cartilage scope, I don't like the chances. I think he was right when he sort of smiled and said, well, maybe in Arizona in 3 weeks, very key to come back on grass.
So, Dr. Cross, you suggest that he comes back in Arizona, right?
Hey, it's all a matter of pain level. The level of pain's a lot higher on this concrete than it is on grass.
Yes, you're right. Brian Hansen will be kicking, and this is career punt number 901, and it's over the head of Tim Brown, and Brown finally picks it over the 2-yard line. He let it get behind him, a terrible mistake for the veteran. He knows better than that. 68 yards on that punt. He gets a 4-yard return. Back in a moment, no score.
There's Tim Brown. He's hurt this team a few times with fumbles from the receiver position. Should have caught that one. Can't let that thing roll around like that.
The remaining back is Derek Finner. A double tight end set, pinned at the 5-yard line. A pickup of 3 yards to the 8. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Mike Chilinsky of the Jets with the tackle.
Well, there's a situation, Charlie, you're never surprised to see a single back and 2 tight ends if you're backed up like this. This is a very quick, aggressive Jets defense. You can't afford anybody getting through a gap.
Andrew Glover, the tight end, is the fullback as the lead blocker for Finner, who comes behind him across the 10 to the 11-yard line. He picks up 3. It's still going to be 3rd down and about 4 to go as we check out the ticker. Miami with the early lead over Seattle. No score, Carolina, Minnesota. No scores, Chicago, Green Bay, halfway through the first. New England a quick early lead on Baltimore.
There's Jim Vecchiarelli. Charlie, we're talking about that quick, aggressive defense. One thing teams will do against his defense, everybody does it, and the Raiders are good mimics. Everybody runs reverses.
3rd down and 3. Hostetler to throw. A little flare to the right side to Andrew Glover, and he's got the 1st down. Nice play. 18 yards on the play and the 1st down.
It's a nice job, Jeff Hostetler, reading this defense. He knows he's getting the blitz. Watch the way he leaves the center there, comes straight back and shot puts one. It goes his passing yardage, but he kind of pushes that one out, and he could afford to. Glover was that wide open, nobody even near him.
29-yard line, 1st down Oakland. No score in the ball game. This is their 2nd offensive drive. 4.5 minutes. Now left to go in the 1st period. Aska back in the ball game. Oh, that was Finner. 31-yard line.
You know, something else they're doing for the Raiders offensively, they've got Rick Cunningham, a backup offensive lineman, in there at tight end. You know, they're alternating using Glover in the backfield there as that fullback, but they've got a big offensive tackle right now playing tight end, and that's got to tell Vecchiarelli's defense, we're going smash mouth here, trying to run the ball and control it.
Andrew Glover as the fullback, lead blocker for Derek Finner. Play action fake, Hostetler's chase. In and out of the hands of Ricky Dudley, the #1 rookie, their draft choice out of Ohio State. Got to make that catch.
Oh, he really does. And here's a guy that struggled a little bit with this offense, getting a grip on it. And with the fire on this pass, it's kind of easy to understand how he has a hard time keeping a handle on this. It seems to get to him before he really expects it. But the reason it got there so early, Mr. Washington is putting a little smack on Mr. Hostetler.
Aska is in the ball game. Finner, the remaining back. Aska is on the left wing, did not know the play. He went to Hostetler. That's what the conversation is about. We've got a timeout. They did not want to take it, but we've got it. No score. Back in a moment.
Get food. You don't come down. How do you get food?
Space shuttle. Hey. Let me make a correction. That was Derek Finner, who did not know the play. Caused the timeout. Hostetler going deep. Tim Brown along the sideline, out of bounds.
Oh. You know, one
and
thing.
I said it was Derek Finner, who did not know the play that caused the timeout.
And one thing I think the Raiders players like about Jeff Hostetler since he's been back, he doesn't hesitate to do this. I won't give you subtitles or translations. I think it's easy to figure out that he's not real happy with Mr. Fenner right there.
Wayne Corbett is the return man. He said he has to depend on his swervability on his punt return. Fair catch. Has it at the 34-yard line. Second punt of Jeff Gossett. The first one 38 yards, this one 35.
I'll tell you, if he's got swervability, he could drive a cab in this city.
No, he learned swerve.
He's out to prove that it was kind of an insult not to think he was a key weapon.
Going on first down and missing Kyle Brady, the tight end.
Look at O'Donnell. You see what he's doing right there? He's telling him that is like an option route for the tight end. When a defender's on one side, you look at the defender, you go the other way. And he's saying, hey, look, you got to turn the other way. There's Brady in the left side. O'Donnell sees him. And he's got to go to where he is. Your receiver, exactly, Neil, your receiver's got to be between the defender and the ball on that route.
Kyle Brady, only one reception coming into the ball game. Here's Adrian Morrell on a sweep to the left side, back to the running game. And a pick of about 9 yards before Biekert makes the tackle.
Well, here's an example of swervability. Swervability gets the ball here, and then swervability does this. So obviously, Corbett's been able to get Mr. Morrell a little bit of that swervability in his running style. Good running, good blocking. Now the swervability.
Oh, yes. Whoa.
It's contagious.
It is. So is that word, isn't it? 2:53 time remaining, first quarter, no score. Jets second opportunity offense. And Morrell is stacked up literally at the line of scrimmage by Chester McLaughlin.
Now that is what that Raider defense does well, and that guy there, Chester McLaughlin, does great, and that's penetrate. That defense penetrates. No brainer here, Charlie.
Oh, you got to kick it.
You don't take a chance in this situation. The Jets have to play field position with the Raiders. They got to hang. Remember, you hang around, and if you're Richie Kotite, you wait for the Raiders to get the penalties and the Raiders to give you the ball and a shot to beat them.
Ryan Hansen will be kicking. The deep back is Darrell Hobbs, replacing Tim Brown. The Jets have not had a punt block in 12 years. It is caught downfield by New York. The ball will be down at that spot. Oakland will be moving on offense when we come back. 20-yard line with Aska in motion. Three wide receivers on the set. Goes deep underneath the coverage to Ricky Dudley, the tight end. Nice grab this time. And suddenly the Raiders are in midfield. 31 yards on the play. Gary Jones with the tackle at the Jet 49.
Now this is just a good job by Hostetler. Remember we talked about the 63 offense? Well, in 63 you read the plays long to medium to short. And Dudley was medium. He had a receiver long. The safety went with his receiver. You go to the tight end at the medium.
And here is Aska, jumps to the outside, has the corner, almost breaks it. Almost breaks it. Joe Aska was born in St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, one of only 4 NFL players, but that includes New York Jets defensive tackle Jeff Faulkner.
And I tell you, if you're the Jets, you thank your lucky stars you got Aaron Glenn out there, because with the speed of Joe Aska, he is gone if Glenn can't match him right there. You saw that acceleration. That's what he brings. That's why he's in here and starting. don't be fooled. Napoleon Kaufman got hurt a little bit last week with that ankle. But Aska's playing because they see the potential of this young guy, and he's just one of many Raider young players they said have got to step up.
Hostetler to throw on first down. Drills this one. Pass is complete. He goes to Tim Brown. 23-yard line.
You know, and Hostetler right now has got that little bounce going. When you see a quarterback that's getting more and more confident and more of a roll going, you see those feet, and he kind of bounces in the pocket. And when Jeff Hostetler starts bouncing, the locals here used to see him in that red, white, and blue of the Giants. Remember exactly that, hitting the tight end, hitting the safe stuff over the middle, getting a rhythm.
For Oakland, 3 plays in this drive, 3 consecutive first down. And here is Aska straight through, helmet to helmet at the 18-yard line. He runs into Rick Hamilton. Whoa, what a collision.
Hey, but key here, Charlie, they're starting this guy out of the eye. He's getting a 7-yard head start to accelerate, and he's going after the line of scrimmage.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We are scoreless. Oakland and the Jets.
Taped to his right hamstring. He will not return for this half. At least he'll be evaluated at halftime. Charlie, Randy.
All right, thank you, Lynn, for the update. Play action fake by Hostetler, goes to the end zone. Tim Brown knocked away. Brown trying to push off of the defender, and he got away with that, but he was well played by Aaron Glenn. Interesting, Tim Brown yesterday said Glenn is playing Pro Bowl caliber football, and he showed him there.
Well, you know, and when Glenn sees this tape, he is going to see some Pro Bowl caliber defense out of Tim Brown, because he's got this ball the whole way. The only guy with a real shot at this is Glenn. Tim Brown coming over the top does some good imitation of a defensive back.
3rd down 5, Raiders 1 of 3 3rd down conversion. Great shot right up the middle with Derek Finner. And he has the first down at the 10-yard line. A gain of 8 yards on the play. Lonnie Young makes the tackle.
Now watch the colors on this play. When I say the colors, you should see green and barely white. You see a lot of green, but it's open field right there in front of Fenner. Excellent job by the inside of Wisniewski, Robbins, and Gogan on that one. Jim Vecchiarelli's got to get something going, maybe with stunts, because his guys are getting overwhelmed inside.
Ricky Dudley and Rick Cunningham are the tight ends. Andrew Glover is the fullback, the lead blocker. And here is Derek Finner. Finner at 6'3", 245.
Hey, Gary Jones, you get these running backs into the defensive backfield this quick, like the Raiders are right now inside. Gary Jones is going to be about 2 inches shorter at the end of this game. Bad sign when the DB starts leading you in the tackle charts.
2nd down, goal to go. Ball just outside the 8-yard line. Again, the backup tight end, Andrew Glover, is the lead blocker. Number 87 in the backfield. Play action fake to Finner. Throwing off, and it is incomplete. Tim Brown, the intended receiver, couldn't pull it in. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go. Meanwhile, the field goal kicker for the Oakland Raiders, Cole Ford, is loosening up. He has hit 3 of 6. That is long one is 38 yards this year.
Interesting, that last play, Charlie. Again, with Glover at fullback, Rick Cunningham was lined up at left tight end, and they actually had the big guy run a post.
And here's what they've done in the red zone 16 times. 10 touchdowns, 2 field goals. 3rd and goal, Flair. Tim Brown, incomplete.
It's going to be motion on Dudley, lined up at right tight end. He pulled off just before the snap. Another one of those critical errors.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 82 with slight movement prior to the snap. That penalty is refused. 4th down.
The Raiders, the most penalized team. Actually, they are tied with Jacksonville with 48 penalties coming into the ballgame.
Watch the tight end right here. He's going to move. See that?
Yep.
That is not 82. That's 83, Dudley at the tight end position. 82 was jetting the slot, and There's Mr. Dudley getting a little information from Joe Bugle, the line coach for the Raiders.
16-yard line, 26-yard attempt. And it is good. And the Raiders are on the scoreboard. They are now out in front of the New York Jets by a score of 3-0. Back with a kickoff in a moment.
Can get you, you can loosen those hands from hanging. You can hang on field goals.
Ronald Moore and Henry Bailey are the deep backs on the return. Bounced and picked up by Ronald Moore. And a nice return out to the 30-yard line. Program note, Tuesday, NBC Sports presents Game 1 of the American League Championship Series, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. on the Pacific. The New York Yankees will be hosting the Baltimore Orioles. That's Game 1, Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. That is here on NBC.
Hey, you know, as a
playoffs have been good.
As a baseball fan that grew up just living and dying with the Dodgers and being born in Brooklyn, I grew up hating the Yankees. But I mean, there's just something right with the world when the Yankees are back in the playoffs.
Yes, yes. However, my San Diego Padres are not, but they had a great year. And that was a great ball game last night with St. Louis. Here's Morrell, has the hole, 40. He could go all the way. They may cut him down. With the angle is Darren Carrington, who saves a touchdown. Whoa, 43 yards for Adrian Morrell. And remember, on Wednesday, he strained his hamstring. They were worried about him, too, this week.
Nothing wrong there. Watch Brady. Watch here. Good job, and entire right side. Watch how quick this opens up. Brady blocks down, gets a nice job there of pinning. I mean, that's perfect execution. Charlie, there's nothing wrong with that hamstring. Not now.
Not now. First and 10, 28-yard line. And here's Morrell again, stops. That's it. He's going to lose a yard. Greg Gumbel is sick this afternoon. Dan Hicks has replaced him, and here's Dan with an update for us.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Seattle and rainy Miami to take on the Dolphins. John Freeze in for Rick Meyer. And watch Joey Galloway fight off Calvin Jackson. Goes all the way for the touchdown, 65 yards. And Seattle, on the last play in the first quarter, takes a 7-3 lead. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Dan. Here, the Oakland Raiders are out in front of the Jets by a field goal, 3-0. O'Donnell has pressure, slips away from a would-be sack. He has an opening, he's going to run to the sideline, and he makes it. He outruns Chester McLaughlin. But Chester was closing on him, wasn't he?
Well, Russell Maryland has the shot at him in the backfield, but fear can be an incredible motivator.
Yes.
Here, look at the, you can imagine, oh, God.
I remember Chester is 6'4", 325 pounds.
And that is how Neil got that quick.
You bet.
You get motivated, and fear will motivate you. And, you know, Richie can't be unhappy with what's going on right now offensively. Granted, he got a clean whiff and miss. Got his guy into the backfield on a stunt. But his quarterback made up for it.
A tight formation, but 4 wide receivers are in this set from the shotgun. 3rd down and 7. Here's pressure. In reality, throwing it away, he was simply out of time. Henry Bailey was the closest possible receiver, but he was dumping it off. And Nick Lowry is going to come in with a long field goal attempt.
Hey, you know, this is no Baryshnikov wearing number 14. You're going to pressure him. You're going to make him move, especially to his left. He's doing what he doesn't want to do. And anytime a defense can get a smack on Neil O'Donnell, it just adds another smack to a long, long list of hits.
43-yard field goal attempt. Nick Lowry appearing in his 250th NFL game and is only 2 away from tying Jan Stenerud NFL record, all-time record of field goals. 3 away from breaking it, and he hits from 43 yards out and ties up the ball game at 3. Nick Lowry, the ageless wonder. He just keeps going on and on and on. He is 40 years old. He's been congratulated by Nolan Ryan. Carl Kidd and Kenny Shedd as the deep backs on the return. Kenny Shedd. Now the reverse to Carl Kidd, and we've got a flag.
Time to be smart if you're a Raider. Don't do anything stupid. It's a team that's known for those kind of things. Don't give an official an excuse to throw another 15 yards on top of it.
22 yards on the return to that point.
And every time that happens on the sideline like that, I think of two things. Either a gunner, one of the quick guys getting hung up on being held up on the sideline, or somebody that goes out of bounds, who's blocked out of bounds illegally.
We mentioned that the Raiders tied with Jacksonville with the most penalties in the NFL against Oakland. That is their second penalty of the ball game. Napoleon Kaufman makes his first appearance in the ball game as a running back. And squirting through is Kaufman. Now for an update, here is Dan Hicks across the river in New York City.
Okay, Charlie, continues to rain in Miami, and it continues to rain Seahawk touchdowns. John Freeze once again for the second time, his second straight pass, 2 touchdown passes to Joey Galloway. That one good for 51 yards and a 14-3 Seattle lead. Charlie?
Thank you, Dan. Are you surprised about that?
Not when Joey Galloway's doing it. You know, this Raiders team is a team known for fast guys.
Here's Napoleon Kaufman, pops through. A little stiff arm, a 360 down the sideline. Kaufman, very excited. He's got a bit of an ankle injury. The reason that he didn't draw the starting assignment. Has 17 yards. He has been averaging, are you ready for this? Averaging 7.8 yards a carry. That is second highest in the NFL, highest in the AFC.
And like Galloway in Seattle, fast guys that aren't just fast guys.
Yeah.
Anybody can sign a fast guy. Here are fast guys that are incredibly talented, extremely athletic, and are real impact players, and that's what Kaufman brings with that rushing average is instant impact, like Galloway today in Miami.
And a first down out at the 43-yard line. Coming back to the short man underneath the coverage, this is Tim Brown, and we want to emphasize again, and Tim told us about this yesterday. He said, nobody has beat us, we are beating ourselves.
Well, exactly, and one of the beat yourselves is doing something stupid. Trey Junkin did something stupid. You've got to leave the bench in an adequate amount of time, which is not like in your own good time, when you feel like it. You got to get off the bench, off the sideline, into the locker room.
Second down in the yard. Here's Kaufman, has the first down. He'll go to the Jet 45-yard line, picks up 3. Stopped by Victor Green. And Napoleon gives a lift to this offense of Oakland.
He really does. I mean, you can only imagine getting a running back, a backfield of Kaufman and Aska.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, Aska's 240. You can run kind of like the Denver Broncos do with two kind of halfback types back there, and at 240, Aska could be a good lead blocker.
Napoleon Kaufman, 3 carries, 31 yards. Hostetler's completed 6 of 11. Play action fake. Nice fake. Flag is down, goes deep, overthrows everybody. James Jett, the intended receiver. And Trey Junkin now has decided that he is going to go to the locker room, and he is being escorted.
Yeah, he's leaving the field, and if Jeff Hostetler doesn't get better protection, he's going to be right behind him, and he ain't happy about it. I got to tell you what, Lincoln Kennedy tried to help him up just now.
Holding. 63 offense.
I thought he was going to hit him.
Repeat first down.
I thought Hostetler was going to punch Lincoln Kennedy because that's Kennedy's guy, Washington, smacking Jeff Hostetler under the chin.
Barrett Robbins, the center, who is only the 4th starting center in Oakland history. Jim Otto, Dave Dalby, Don Mosbar, has the penalty back to the 45-yard line.
You don't see a quarterback refuse to let your offensive lineman help you up very often, and Hostetler just did it.
First down and 20. Here's Derek Fitter.
You know, one thing we're seeing from both defenses really is when you get a chance to hit a quarterback like the Jets defense is hitting Hostetler and the Raiders defense is hitting O'Donnell, you see a whole defense swell up. They love that. That is what they feed on. Kind of like a shark likes blood. Defensive players love to hit a quarterback. They play with more confidence when they get a shot to do that. And right now, this Jets defense, after that smack on Hostetler, is a little swollen up.
Ball game tied 3-3, just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Tim Brown shows motion. And we've got flags on the play. Jets are offside. Pass back to Tim Brown, who's a short man coming across. He has the first down at the 33-yard line if the play stands up. 19 yards, he needed 17.
Well, I'm a little surprised we didn't have a little step in there and get one of those unimpeded to the quarterback, stop the play kind of whistles, because Washington was offside clearly on that play.
Defense, number 97 in the neutral zone at the snap. Penalty is refused. First down.
Well, I tell you what you got to do. You got to stop that play. You can't let him do that. Watch Washington and watch Lincoln Kennedy flat out tackle him, protecting his quarterback. There's the offsides. And here's the full-on takedown, yanked by the front of the jersey. That doesn't get called. But Kennedy was just protecting Hostetler. Good idea, too, because if he was mad the last time, he would have killed him this time.
And here's the backfield that you asked for, Napoleon Kaufman, Joe Aska. And here is Kaufman. Nothing there. Shut off outside, he comes back, and then he was shut off inside. He's going to lose yardage.
Yeah, I've got a 6-year-old son, Brendan. He loves this cartoon show, you know, Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
You know, here's what you hear.
So do I.
You know, same thing Scooby-Doo likes to say. Napoleon Kaufman right here. Rut-row. Rut-row. Nowhere to go. Go down. Get out of the way.
38-yard line, loss of 5, second and 15. There's Kaufman, 5'10", 180 pounds, played his collegiate ball at Washington. Huskies, by the way, at Notre Dame next Saturday. It is behind and almost intercepted. A flag is down.
It's going to be a late hit on Hostetler, Charlie.
Behind Tim Brown, he reached back for it, off of his hands, almost intercepted.
Now they've pointed in this direction of the Raiders there.
Yes.
He had to point the wrong way. Hostetler clearly got hit late.
You're right.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 55. 15
That's
yards.
Bobby Houston.
Automatic first down.
You know, quarterbacks don't ask for much. One of the things they'd like to do is be able to remember the game afterwards. And Houston, look, no real malicious intent here. He's starting to kind of stop. He doesn't plan them, and he knows he did the wrong thing as soon as he did it. He wanted to hold him up, but he couldn't hold him up. And Hostetler wasn't about to help him out by trying to stand up after that one.
The ball just outside the 23-yard line, first down. Ball game tied 3-3, 6:49, time remaining second quarter. Good ball game. Hostetler has a man wide open and he hits him. His tight end, Ricky Dudley, with his second touchdown of his career. He had a step on Victor Green, 23 yards.
Charlie, you did the old Raider games back in the days of the ghost to the post.
Yes.
Well, I was back in that kind of post area there for our current ghost with the Raiders, Mr. Dudley, the #1 pick. He absolutely does this and heads right to the back corner, and Hostetler just leads him perfectly. Good protection for the first time in a few passes, and that is why they drafted Mr. Dudley. That is the hope that Mike White has for this young man, that he can do it on a more consistent basis. And having a tight end that can catch can keep your quarterback off the injured reserve list.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. And Oakland breaks the tie as they lead 10-3. Hostetler's reaction. That is his 6th touchdown pass on the year. Remaining second quarter, Jets up 10-3. Excuse me, the Raiders up 10-3 on the Jets, as Cole Ford will be kicking off either Ronald Moore or Henry Bailey. And it's going to be Bailey on the return to the 15, Bailey to the 20, 25. Nice return out across the 35. He's going to be down And the 36 or the 37-yard line. Dan Land makes the stop after 31 yards. The scoring drive of the Raiders, and Hostetler was 3 for 3, 51 yards of the drive.
And the big thing, really, the big weapon today is the emergence of Ricky Dudley finally being a factor in this offense. And you can see the difference between what Hostetler's done passing-wise so far, having a tight end to throw to, that guy he can rely on that can run away from defenders, and what Neil O'Donnell has so far. Not off to a great start. They have 80 yards rushing, but he doesn't have that tight end weapon.
Jets will start from the 35-yard line with 3 wide receivers. Here's Morrell, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to fall forward to the 36-yard line, a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9, and it was Lance Johnstone who tripped him up. A check of the ticker, Minnesota leading Carolina. They're in the second quarter in that ball game. Green Bay early lead on Chicago in the second quarter.
Seattle still hanging in against Miami, too, at 14-3, Charlie.
New England 3 over Baltimore. Detroit shutting out Atlanta. 2nd down and 9 here, 36-yard line. Pass is complete, but the point of the catch is going to be it for Henry Bailey as he is wrapped up immediately, and O'Donnell is down. Rob Fredrickson made the tackle.
He's seeing spots right now,
You're
Charlie.
Right. You are right.
When you get hit that hard and that sun starts to bother you, like you see him shielding his eyes right there, you can become very sensitive to light when your head gets smacked around, your body gets smacked around, and it's Albert Lewis coming off the slot.
Right there,
corner
29.
blitz. Good job of getting rid of it. But both these quarterbacks are taking a beating. Hostetler was able to recover from his beating using the short passing game, effective running, and passes to his tight end. On O'Donnell's arm.
Frank Reich now the quarterback. 3rd down and 5 from the shotgun. He is on target for the first down. That's a tough play. Shotgun formation. You come out throwing. You hit Alex Van Dyke. 12 yards, first down. Lynch makes a stop for Oakland. This is what Reich had coming into the ball game. 4 for 12, 83 yards. Touchdown. That was in the Denver game.
And he already has more passing yards than O'Donnell did. O'Donnell left with that little shoulder injury at 3 of 7 for 12 yards. This is why you bring a veteran in. He should give you this immediate jump.
And a first down. Here's Morrell. Little stutter step. Another one. He goes out of bounds as we go down to Lynn Berman with a flag on the play. Lynn?
Charlie, the initial indication I get is it's a separated shoulder and he'll go for x-rays. So certainly more bad news, it looks like, for the Jets. Charlie?
Don't stand too close to the Jet bench, Lynn. You might get hurt. Everybody goes down on that ball club. That's truly amazing. Out with injuries.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 43 defense. Will tack 15 yards on to the end of the run. First down.
And here's a look at that. Corbett in motion. Right, sets, throws. Pass is complete to Alex Van Dyke. Rob Fredrickson with the tackle.
You know, Van Dyke's been kind of the other rookie, but remember, this young man out of Nevada had a stellar career catching passes.
129 to lead the nation.
Not too shabby, and also not too shabby by Frank Reich. Getting good pass protection, not being pressured where it disturbs the quarterback the most. That's in his face. A guy fresh into the game, if you can keep that pocket clean, he can step up and throw it.
2nd down and 6, 27-yard line. Jets are down by 7. 3:45 left to go first half. Here's Morrell. And don't forget that Frank Reich was the backup quarterback at Buffalo. And he led the ball. Here's another flag and some pushing and shoving down at the 20-yard line. In between fights, here's Corbett.
Right, he made the comment to us. He doesn't care about mystique. He wasn't going to take anything off the Raiders. And it's a matter of who got caught. Who was the first one to fire the shot, but more importantly, who probably threw the second one and got caught, because Corbett's out here doing what defensive backs hate, and that's blocking.
Against number 80 of the offense, and a personal foul for roughness against number 43 of the defense. The penalty's offset at the end of the run. 2nd down.
You saw it was retaliation. Corbett got popped right in the face by Lynch. checked his parts real quick, and then went back to get a little bit. Now
he also checked to see if it was official, right?
Yeah, well, that's not a very smart play by Quebec, because he could have gotten 15 yards against the Raiders defense if he just would have held his water a little bit and just said, hey, look, I'll come back and get a shot on you later, because he'll get plenty of chances to get a shot on Lynch.
Also, he's given away 25 pounds.
That's nothing new to Wayne Quebec.
He gives away 25 to everybody, doesn't he? All right, third down from the shotgun, right. Fires and a little behind, incomplete. He misses Alex Van Dyke. It is fourth down, and so Nick Lowry will come in with his second field goal attempt of the afternoon, and this one, if he makes it, will tie the NFL record held by Jan Stenerud of 373.
And, you know, despite his age, you're talking about him being 40 and 16 years in the league. This is a 45-yarder on a relatively windless day here in the Meadowlands, easily in Lowry's range. He should put this one high into the net.
He's already hit from 43 in the ballgame. This one, he pulls it to the left, and he misses from 45 yards away. And so the Oakland Raiders will take over at the spot of the kick. We mentioned this just a moment ago. Next Saturday, the tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC Sports. Quarterback Ron Paulus, the Fighting Irish, will host the upset-minded Huskies from Washington. That's Washington versus Notre Dame next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern time, right here on NBC.
Yeah, I played in then the Pac-8, now the Pac-10, and you can guarantee one thing out of the Huskies. They will run the ball well, and they will hit anything that moves. That'll be a heck of a game. But, you know, look at, here's a recipient of one of the guys that got hit because he was moving, Neil O'Donnell. They're holding that right shoulder up. That's not a good sign.
Oakland leading by 7, starts from their 35. Hostetler comes back underneath the coverage. Pass is complete to Derek Finner. Finner has been very active in this offense this afternoon.
Exactly, and as O'Donnell leads the field, I mean, that is their guy here in New York. And if you're the Raiders, you've got what was already a wounded team down to a wounded animal without their quarterback. If you've got the guts to come back in this season, if you've got the character to make something out of a 1-4 start and you're the Raiders here, you absolutely go for the jugular and start pounding on this team that's hurt.
Second down, about 1.5 yards to go for the first down. Hostetler to throw. Again, he comes short. He comes to Joe Ashley. He will pick up the first down. How wounded are the Jets? Well, Keyshawn Johnson is out, you know about. Hugh Douglas, the defensive end, is out. Eric Howard, the defensive tackle, is out. Marvin Jones, the linebacker, is out. And in and out this year, Marvin Washington, Bobby Houston, Jeff Graham, Jumbo Elliott, Kyle Brady. And in the preseason, they lost Tyrone Davis, Eddie Mason, Kenyon Rashad, and Lubin Faddy.
Yeah, how bad is it? The guy watching. Keyshawn Johnson had his knee scoped Thursday. He's out here standing around. Smart move by the training staff of the Jets. He'd stand around all day. He's got to get swelling down if he wants to come back in 2 weeks.
Get off your feet. Hostetler fires mid-range, intercepted. Aaron Glenn.
Well, Tim Brown made the comment, you said, Charlie, that he thought Glenn was making Pro Bowl, playing Pro Bowl corner. Little slap by Brown. Watch Glenn break on the ball, and Brown not. Biggest difference. A wide receiver has to say, that ball is mine. He's got to come back for the ball. Glenn was the one that came back for it, and Hostetler has his 9th interception on the year.
In only 3.5 ball games, because he missed the first 2. Jets will take over at their own 39-yard line, first down. And they're going to snap this ball with 2:02 time remaining. So this one play, and then the 2-minute warning. Frank Reich, the quarterback, sets up a screen, waits and waits. Then Morrell pops through, has the first down. 40-yard line, 35, and then elbowed out of bounds. And it was Darren Carrington who elbowed him out. 2-minute warning. We'll be back in just a moment. Jets on the move.
Enough is going to see some violent things. knifings, gang fights, muggings. But the very worst thing I ever heard of was an 8-year-old boy who'd been shot point blank in the face by another 8-year-old. You know, we gotta start talking to our kids about violence. If they don't hear about it from us, they might find out all on their own.
Dateline Sunday. He's been through the late night wars and came out on top. Now find out the secret to Jay Leno's success. 24 Hours with Jay Leno. Dateline Sunday on NBC.
Coming up, the Domino's Pizza NFL and NBC halftime report. Dan Hicks, Chris Collinsworth, Mike Ditka will bring you the scores and highlights of all the action around the league. Plus, Jim Gray sits down with a 71-year-old, very young head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Marv Levy. And don't forget, Frank Reich was a backup quarterback for Marv Levy in Buffalo, and he led the Bills in the greatest comeback in NFL history over the Houston Oilers. And he looks good in this offense. He goes deep. Little pushing and shoving. Alex Van Dyke, the intended receiver.
Sorry about that, fans here in the stadium, but that defensive guy's got every bit as much right at that football as the offensive guy.
It was Albert Lewis, and he played him very well.
Yeah, but more importantly, Charlie, you're talking about a quarterback being in kind of clean and just starting. Watch Corbett. How do you like him there? Yeah, what's the deal, guy?
Look around.
The deal is keep running patterns like that, as you always do, and they're going to find you.
Jets with 4 wide receivers. The Raiders now have 7 defensive backs in the ballgame and a 4-man rush. And it is intercepted. Going into that 7 defensive back coverage. Here's Terry McDaniel on the return through the 50, the 45, the 40, heads down the sideline and then runs out of room. He's pinned against the sideline. Nice return for Terry McDaniel of 48 yards. That is his 29th career interception.
I tell you, Corbett, we saw him open on the play before. I know he went back to the huddle and said, I'm open. Remember I said something about run that pattern hard and they're going to find you? He ran that pattern like he thought he was a decoy. Frank Reich went to throw it to him, and that's where the ball was intended. They wanted to hit Corbett. Watch Corbett, 80 in the slot, not running hard, just sort of coming off, and it's exactly where the ball goes. And only thing McDaniel did, he was just there. He and the ball were there.
1:32, time remaining first half. Oakland at the Jets' 34-yard line. Hostetler set. Buys a lot of time. Now he's out of time. And he steps out. He is out right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stop, 1:25, time remaining.
Not only out of bounds does Jeff Hostetler almost get hit. You know who got hit on that play? Joe Bugle. Joe Bugle on the Raiders sideline, standing there with his little playlist and everything else all ready to go. He's going to stay a little bit further away from the action now.
Second down and 10. Back to the running attack. Joe Aska. A lot of time remaining, 28-yard line. He'll have 6. Rick Hamilton with the tackle, 3rd and 4.
Hey, Charlie, I mentioned the thing about penetration for the Jets defense being very important against this Raiders running game. And right now, Jim Vecchiarelli's defense is not getting the penetration, and they're succumbing to the size of this Raiders line, who is blocking very well for the run. The problem's been their pass protection.
They spotted at the 29, so it's 3rd and 5. Jumping the outside is Spinner. He has the corner and the first down. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line. A gain of 12 yards on the play. Aaron Glenn is the man who got it.
You know, nothing fancy about this. Watch the right side just consume that side. Joe Aska gets a nice lead block, but Lincoln Kennedy and Kevin Gogan, they look like the Blob. Remember the old movie? The Blob didn't hurt anybody, just kind of consumed them. Well, the right side Blob there, 66 and 72, consumed that side of the Jets defense.
Finner the fullback, Joe Aska the tailback for the Raiders. Jim Brown, the motion man. Little sidearm pass. It is complete to Finner, who is out of bounds. Aaron Glenn was spinning him there. Now the play was stopped before he went out, and so the Raiders will take a timeout to stop the clock with 33 seconds. He's saying they were out of bounds. I didn't have to use a timeout.
Well, I think part of the problem, Fenner kind of played give up at the end of that play. Fenner didn't make any real, attempt to get out of bounds. There was no urgency to Fenner at the end of that pass play. That's one of the interpretations of the officials. If you're not trying to get out of bounds, just because it's late in the game, they're not just going to give it to you. They don't look at the clock and say, oh, 33 seconds, I bet he wants to get out.
Yeah, he was very casual.
Sort of leisurely spinning, and, Aaron Glenn kind of felt that, and he wasn't going to help him if he didn't have to.
But I still feel that he was out of bounds. But my feelings don't count, do they?
Oh, sure they did. Sure they did.
Second down and 10 when play resumes. The ball at the 17-yard line of the Jets.
But to be honest, the feelings of these two beleaguered coaches, Richie Kotite and Mike White, their feelings are getting to be pretty important in this situation because it's getting awful tight from the employment side for both these guys.
Derek Finner is the remaining back. Fifth play of the drive. Hostetler, 11 of 17, 132 yards in the first half. And he goes and he overthrows at the goal line Ricky Dudley. Dudley had gotten behind his man but had to spin off of him, and he was kind of pedaling backwards and couldn't get to it.
A great sequence as you see Hostetler's fired up. Jeff Hostetler throws that ball, gets smacked, and when he gets up, he doesn't yell at Dudley. He looks right over to Mike White on the sideline. He screams at him, and what's Mike White do? Mike White screams down the field at the receiver. They got a little chain of command going. There's the on-the-field commander. He's yelling at the sideline commander. And the foot soldier gets the heat down the field.
Third down, Raiders converted half, 3 of 6. This is low, incomplete. So with 25 seconds left in the first half, Cole Ford will come out. He has hit from 26 yards in the ballgame.
We talked about hanging, Charlie. The Chicago Bears last week trailed 17-3 to these Raiders, and the Raiders found a way to lose. Richie Kotite takes off the headset. He's heading into the locker room, but he's got to remind his team of the exact same thing. Hang in and let the Raiders play their style of football. If they don't, they're a better team. If they do, you're going to get your shot.
35-yard field goal attempt from the 25. And it slides through. It is good. So Cole Ford now is hit from the 20. Kick it away to either Henry Bailey or Ronald Moore. High and very short. Fair catch is called for and taken to the 30-yard line. That's a nice play. That was Kyle Brady who made the call.
Well, Kyle Brady's a receiver. I know he gets another play. These local fans here are saying, well, why don't you catch it and run with it? Show us what you got. But you make a good point. Give your offense a chance, though.
The Raiders looking for their second victory of the season. They are 1-4. The Jets looking for their first. They're 0-5. You're right.
Well, that's a smart thing to do, but honestly, the Jets got lucky with that interception thrown by Reich. Only having a field goal scored on you for Richie Kotite and his team is another big plus. We talked about hanging. They are hanging down 13-3 at the half.
Backs on the return for New York. Oakland is up by 10 as we start the second half. And here is Henry Bailey on the return. Slips the tackle. Starts and stops up the sideline and out of bounds. Pretty good return as we check out the Coors Light halftime stats.
And the whole story, besides the fact we saw Donald go out, and we'll get an update here in a minute from Len Berman, but the story's the passing yards for New York. Right now they can't throw the ball effectively. Reich had the one big play, and the Raiders in every category, but I tell you, 13-3 is not a dominant lead for this Raider team.
21 yards on the kickoff return. Frank Reich is the quarterback. He gives off to Adrian Morrell. He has a couple of yards. Let's go down to Lynn Berman.
Charlie, the official word on Neil O'Donnell, it's a second-degree separated shoulder. He is out of action 4 to 6 weeks. Another tough blow for the Jets. I asked Mike White about going against Frank Wright, and White told me, well, he's been there before. So spoken like a true coach, Charlie.
Yes. And also, what did Rich Kotite tell you he was going to do in the second half? Lynn?
Well, Kotite said he was concerned with third down blitzing. He says he wants to do a better job of picking that up.
Okay, thank you. 2nd down and 7. Opening drive, second half. Here's Morrell looking outside, cuts back inside. Going to be close to the first down. Let's see where he gets the mark. Beekert, the middle linebacker for the Raiders, with a tackle.
And very smartly for Richie Kotite to be concerned about the blitzing. It was the blitz of Albert Lewis from the far side that got his quarterback Neil O'Donnell. And honestly, they're not getting much pressure on Jets quarterbacks from the outside. Elliott and Williams are doing a good job on the defensive ends. That is where they have got to try to get the pressure. Whittingham, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders, has just got to bring the blitz. And Richie knows it. Then they do something with it.
3rd down in the yard. Find Anderson Morrell. He's shut off. Comes back inside. Makes a nice, quick inside move. And has the first down. Only the 3rd time out of 7 attempts that the Jets have converted with a 3rd down opportunity.
And a smart play, really, because watch Russell Maryland right here get penetration. He gets so much penetration, Morrell has got to stop dead in his tracks. The penetration stops him. He lets everything else flow by. Good backside blocking by the offensive line. The key to any good running game is the backside block.
And Morrell has rushed already for 86 yards. Right to throw. Nice protection, scramble, little touchback down the sideline, and it is complete to Richie Anderson. Rob Fredrickson had the coverage, the linebacker, covering him along the sideline. A marker down. 19 yards on the play.
For a late hit out of bounds, number 53 defense. 15 yards tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
Rob Fredrickson right at the end, getting that late hit on Anderson, but nice poise by Frank Reich. And look at the way he floats this and leads this to Anderson. Plenty of people around, but here comes the hit. He is out of bounds when he gets that pitch on him. 1, 2 feet. I mean, that's not even close. That's even out of bounds in Canada. That is another dumb play. That's another Raider penalty. Keep track of them, folks.
1st and 10 at the Oakland 18-yard line. Here's Morrell. Cuts back 15-10 and down at the 9-yard line. And somebody did lose a shoe on the way down. No, I thought he did for a moment. Mike Jones with a tackle.
Charlie, believing is a big part of this NFL. And when you're a team that is hurt, you're a team that's not as good as the other guy. If the good team lets you believe you can win, you believe you're in the football game, you are in there. And right now, Richie Kotite's team, if they can get a touchdown here, make it 13-10, they believe they can't be beaten by the Raiders.
Here's Morrell, slips a tackle, spins his way to the 5-yard line. He picks up 4, has the first down. It'll be first down and goal to go.
Yeah,
Chester McLaughlin with the tackle.
Charlie, it sounds funny to say the better team or a good team. The Raiders at 1-4. You look at their personnel, they are physically as good, if not better, than an awful lot of teams in this league. They have underachieved this year. They are the better team on the football field. The Jets know that. The Raiders know that. The Raiders right now on this drive are playing like they know it. They're acting like it.
Line. Now the 4-yard line of Oakland. It'll be second down and goal to go. Ronald Moore replacing Richie Anderson at fullback. Nolan Harrison with the tackle. And the Jets have only 1 rushing touchdown this season.
I mean, heck, the city of New York has 2. The Giants have 1. The Jets have 1. And, you know, if you're not going to run it in here, and if you're a running team, you got to be able to do it. For Ron Earhart, the biggest weapon in this area is a tight end. You got to have a tight end in the red zone.
Richie Anderson back in the lineup. And here is Morrell. There's nothing there. He's going to lose a yard. Oh, the Raiders defense just swarming over him, led by Greg Beekert, the linebacker. Whoa.
You know, nothing to me is worse in this situation than going east and west when you're this close to the goal line. Don't get cute. Don't open yourself up to that kind of stuff there where your penetration's going to kill you and run you down and cost you yards. Now it's obvious. We're not talking another run to the sideline, a dive up front. You can almost play a nickel defense if you're the Raiders now.
3rd and goal. Right set. Back edge of the end zone, and he misses, incomplete. So Nick Lowry will come out.
Remember what I said about the red zone close to the goal line? You got to have a tight end. Well, the tight end's the #1 pick from last year, running to the nearest defender, and he's open, adjusting to the ball. And I mean, if from there, a guy 6'6", 260 catches the ball, he can just fall down and score.
Now from the 14-yard line, an attempt at 24 yards. This is to tie Jan Stenerud's NFL record of 373 field goals. And he's got it from 24 yards away. So the record has been tied. The Jets have 3 more. The score 13-6. Back to the field with the kickoff in a moment.
See what I saw? Unbelievable.
Did you see what I saw?
It is getting so crowded around here.
We're out of here.
The new Ford Expedition. It seats up to 9 and tows more than anything in its class. Ford Expedition, the only way to get there.
This is the Pentium processor inside the PC that runs the CD-ROM that lets you play Monopoly with 3D animation. And since it is a connected CD-ROM, it hooks to your PC's internet link. So you can go online and play someone half a world away, which makes you happy that you have the Pentium processor.
Reaching your financial goals can be a complex balancing act. At the Principal Financial Group, you will find the strength of our investment performance is your 401k retirement advantage. You'll find our flexibility will meet your insurance needs. And you'll find the balance of choice and quality you need in health coverage. For over 100 years, the Principal has made the complex simple. That's how we give you an edge. The Principal.
This is the NFL on NBC.
3 guesses who the first guy Frank Reich finds when he comes to the sideline. Kyle Brady, you know, it's sort of a matter of saying, gee, I know you were open, sorry about that. But, you know, a guy like a tight end's got to be in the absolute forefront of a quarterback's mind in that situation. Not going to your tight end shows a lot about the confidence in a tight end the quarterback has.
Silvestri is kicking off. Here's Carl Kidd on the return. Kidd to the 20, 25. Nice return. He's out to around the 27-yard line. 25 yards on the return. Cascadden making the tackle. And there's Nick Lowry just tying Jan Stenerud's record. Let's go down to Lynn Berman. Lynn?
Well, here's the record-tying field goal. It says is number 8 for the field goal number 2. That's it. I mean, it was a very low-key celebration, wasn't it, for someone who tied an all-time record? That's because the Jets wanted 7 points.
Maybe they were just waiting for the next one, though, that breaks the record.
Well, somewhere in Montana is Jan Stenerud now shares the record with Lowry.
Joaska's dropped for a loss. Mike Chilinsky from UCLA.
Well, you know, and they went after a situation where they said, hey, look, you're not penetrating. We'll run a quick flip and get the corner on you. Well, Chilinsky and the defense got the penetration. Jim Vecchiarelli and the defensive coaches, I'm sure, talked a lot about that at the half, about attacking this Raiders offense. This is not an offense that has a lot of confidence in what it's doing. You can make them think of a way to make a mistake.
2nd and 13. Aska now has 39 yards rushing. Hostetler to throw. Over the middle, and it is incomplete. Going to Ricky Dudley, his touchdown scoring tight end. Victor Green was there for the Jets. 3rd down, 13.
You know, Hostetler could get used to this. You know, he's had a guy like Zeke Mowat. He's had guys like Mark Bavaro. He could get used to having a tight end you can go to. Dudley, top of the screen. Pass a little low and away from him. He had that pass pattern. He could have been open. That ball was thrown behind him. And he got up a little bit gimpy too.
3rd down and 13. Raiders converting 3 of 7. 3rd down opportunity. Hostetler with everybody out on the pattern down the sideline, and it is incomplete.
Wow.
And Hostetler's dead. Quarterbacks are taking a beating today. So it'll be 4th down and forever, and that means that Jeff Gossett will come in to kick it away to Wayne Crabell.
It's kind of like a southern barbecue restaurant, because right now ribs are an endangered species on these quarterbacks. They are just chomping these guys up.
Meanwhile, a Jet is down at the 40-yard line, and that, I believe, is Ray Mickens. Yes, it is.
Snapping the punt, number 67.
Good snap. Good kick. Turns over. Corbett gives ground. 24-yard line. Slips a tackle. Nice move. There's that swerve ability. Oh, that was it. He got a swerve and a half and was nailed. We'll be back in just a moment.
He's got going right now is the fact that he's got a running game. Adrian Morrell's got it going on. That is how they're going to get a comeback going here.
Right set, throws right side. Morrell incomplete. Receptor trying one-handed, couldn't pull it down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Loves to do. He gets tough yards, and he gets those extra 1 or 2 as he's being hit. That's been the key so far for Morrell.
A career high 126 last week. He's going to lose a couple of yards here, so that's going to drop his total back to about 95 in this ball game. And it was a rookie from Temple, Lance Johnstone, who dropped him.
You can't hesitate against these guys when you're playing against the Raiders. Coming from the backside, there's too many bad possibilities. And we've seen when he's been effective, Morrell has been just running into the line. Now you hesitate here. There's a hesitation. And there's the backside pursuit and result. I mean, it was either going to be Johnstone there or it was going to be Russell Maryland coming from the defensive tackle.
3rd and 12, 4 wide receivers in the set, and right to sack. Jerry Ball got him.
Great execution by the veteran Jerry Ball. Doesn't mind this backup roll. And what he does is he executes the end tackle game. Here's the end swilling down. Here comes the tackle. Jerry Ball around. Good execution by the Raiders. Poor handoff and execution by the Jets. Well, you know, when you're on offense, sometimes the other guys get paid too. And that was some high-priced players doing what they're supposed to.
And for the Raiders, that is their 12th sack of the season. Hanson with the kick, taken by Darrell Hobbs. And Hobbs goes out of bounds at the Jet 46-yard line. Sheridan May in hot pursuit, 36 yards on the kick, 7-yard return. Back in a moment. Yankees hosting the Orioles as we get back to football here in the Meadowlands. But that game, that's game 1, Tuesday night at 8 Eastern time, 5 Pacific time here on NBC. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series, Tuesday night here on NBC. That's a great shot.
Bernie Williams kind of owns this town right now after performance yesterday in Texas. 1 from each side.
Yes, he should own it. 2nd down and 4. Hostetler has completed 11 of 21, 135 yards. But he has had 4 straight incompletions. Joe Aska gets the call. He's going to come up about a yard and a half shy of the 1st down. Here's Glenn Foley. He is the number 3 quarterback. Frank Reich took a hit right here, and he has a sprained ankle.
Well, it's going to take more than that, I think, to keep Frank Reich out. You see him grabbing it there, but he kind of rolled that thing over on the turf. But, you know, let's be realistic. This is a place the Jets have got to stand up. They need a field goal worst-case scenario with this great field position of the Raiders.
3rd down and 1. 1st down, but Derek Finner, after the 1st down, was nailed backwards by Gary Jones. He got to the 34, but he came to rest back at around the 36.
Well, Jones and Mo Lewis eventually hit him, but look at the hole up front. Victor Green gets trap blocked by Wisniewski, a huge hole to jump through, and one of the problems with jumping through a hole is you're airborne, and Lewis made him pay for being airborne.
First down for Oakland. Hostetler, he's going to be sacked. The flag is down.
It's going to be a holding inside on the Raiders.
Bobby Houston and Matt Brock were both there for the Jets.
No, illegal use of the hands.
Going to the face?
Well, that's the new thing this year. They've really been instructed to really enforce that whenever possible. When they see it, you're going to hear it.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 55 of the defense.
Bobby
Since
Houston.
the run ended behind the line of scrimmage, it's a 5-yard penalty, but we must get back to the line of scrimmage. It's an automatic first down.
Aska is the tailback. The up back is Finner. That's Brown and Norton. Here's Aska. Jets are trying to pull the ball out of his hand. They almost had it at the 34-yard line, but he held on. Jeff Faulkner finally gets him. He again is the joining Aska as two of the 4 natives of the Virgin Islands to play in the NFL.
You know, when you see guys starting to grab a football, it usually tells you 2 things. 1, there might be a little desperation involved, and 2, when you're grabbing the football, you're usually not in a good enough position to make a clean, crisp tackle, and the Jets were a little out of position there.
All right, look out. Here's Napoleon Kaufman with that great speed. He pops through only to the 29-yard line, gets a couple.
That was good
Ray
speed.
Mickens, who is back in the ballgame, brings him down.
Good speed, Charlie. He went back as fast as he went forward.
Well, he's got quickness in both directions.
I'll tell you a guy that's going to be up for a definite ice bath after this game is over is Gary Jones at safety. He's listed at 6'1". At this rate, Gary Jones will be about 5'11" at the end of the game and have about 15 tackles. He is sticking people.
3rd down and 5, 29-yard line. Crowd getting back into the ballgame. Haven't been there that often. Hostetler throws. Tim Brown has the first down. Pulled down to the 22-yard line. Aaron Glenn got him, but he had a couple of steps on him. And the Raiders continue to move on offense, 22-yard line.
Watch Tim Brown drag along the underneath of this defense. They're running him off with Hobbs. Got a little pick in the defensive backfield. Hostetler sees it and takes advantage of it.
Daryl Hobbs made a nice pick of a defender.
Yeah. Well, it's a good block.
22-yard line, first down. And there's the quickness of Napoleon Kaufman. He's dangerous, isn't he? Aaron Glenn again with the tackle.
Well, he's dangerous, Charlie, but I'll tell you what, Mo Lewis coming from the backside here has got a shot at him, and he's about a fingernail clip away. Mo doesn't cut his fingernails on Friday. He gets them right here. But he trimmed them. You never think a fingernail clipper would be the difference in a play, but he was about that far away from a play on a guy that's been awful hard on himself, Mo Lewis, on how he's played this year.
2nd down and 4. Jumping to the outside is Derek Finner. 13-yard line. 3rd down and 1. Rick Hamilton with the tackle.
You know, I mentioned Mo Lewis being kind of tough on himself. You know, he's made the comments about, gee, I'm just not playing the way I'm supposed to. He sort of said, you know, focus some of the blame on me. Part of the blame is the scheme they're playing. They've had so many injuries, they can't use Mo Lewis the way they normally would. This guy is one of the top linebackers in the NFL. In a normal scheme where he can blitz and he can be a playmaker, he makes a huge difference.
Napoleon Kaufman came limping out of the ballgame. Now he's walking back and forth in front of the Raider bench. A Jet player is down. That may be Mickens. He is down for the 2nd time.
Hogan along with Cunningham at tight end. They operate close to the ground, and that's where you go.
And the give is to Finner. And he breaks through the right side. Had to come back a little bit towards the center.
It's going to be real close.
Forward. It is close.
Real close, though.
Let's see what the spot is.
Jets did the job onside. They knew it was coming to that right side. They stuffed it there.
We'll have a measurement.
safest way to get a short amount of yardage like this. You go right in behind Gogan in your center, Robbins. You give it to Jeff Hostetler. You don't risk a handoff. You sneak it.
Everybody set. He does hand off instead, though, to Derek Finner, who does have the first down of the 10-yard line. I'm surprised.
Wow, that's risky. It's a tough call, but Mike White and the Raiders get away with it for one reason and one reason alone. The right side of that offensive line comes off the ball, and there is no penetration from the Jets' defensive line. That works so good. Finner came right out of his shoes.
Right out of his shoes.
Look at that. Wisniewski, nice trap block right there on Hamilton. Good opening up front. Watch the inside. Robbins, Gogan, Wisniewski. Mo Lewis can't get there till too late.
First down, goal to go. Timing pattern in the corner to the tight end, Ricky Dudley. Overthrows him by about half a step. He thought, like you see the motion, he was going to go to the corner. Didn't quite go to the corner.
Charlie, the young man got away with pass interference there because he pushed off on Bobby Houston. Right as he turned his head to look up in the air for that ball coming down, he pushed off with his back hand clearly on that play.
Derek Finner back in the offensive set with the shoe on. Joaska comes out.
No mystery to the Raiders of what a tight end does in the red zone.
This drive has consumed already 6.5 minutes. Here is Finner just leaning in now the left side. They lean to the 7-yard line.
And the main reason, Charlie, I've been talking about the right side of the offensive line, besides the fact that, you know, Gogan's huge, he's there. Lincoln Kennedy's huger, and he's there too, is Charles McCray is in at left tackle. McCray is in for Robert Jenkins, who left the game, who was in for Pat Harlow, who couldn't start this game. That run there was over the left side of the offensive line. You saw that thing got stuffed. If you're going to run, you better go behind your meat there, Kennedy and Gogan.
Napoleon Kaufman comes in. He got there a little bit late. Play clock was running down. Hostetler calls a timeout. We'll step. Askin motion. Hostetler rolls, buys time, throws it away, out of time. They're going to put a flag down. Oh!
That's they're calling that on Mo Lewis for a hit out of bounds. I got to see that again because I think Hostetler was still way in bounds when he got hit.
I do too.
57 defense for a blow to the head of the quarterback. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Here we go. Blow to the head. That's an automatic now. Protecting the quarterbacks. Lewis closing. I think that is awful cheap. He hit him in the shoulder. I don't know how the referee threw that flag. I don't see how he misses this.
No, he hit the shoulder. The referee's behind him.
He didn't try to punch him in the head. He was pushing him in the shoulder. His hand glanced up and hit him in the head.
So with the penalty, the ball outside the 3-yard line. First down and goal to go.
One more time. Right hand into the shoulder, up into the head. That was not meant as a blow to the head.
It didn't look like it was a mistake. Here's Aska trying the right side. Not a lot there. It'll be second down and goal to go. Bobby Houston for the Jets. Miami leading Seattle by 1. Minnesota's in front of Carolina. They're in the third.
Yeah,
Green Bay has Chicago. Go ahead.
As much as I hate to, they can carry this taking care of quarterbacks a little bit too far. I think they carried it a little bit too far there.
You've got to let them play. We'll return after these messages with the fourth quarter, after these messages from your local station.
And after that call, you might want to put a skirt on him. That was weak.
Hostetler to throw. Runs again. Head for the sideline. Dives out of bounds. Watch to see if there are any more flags thrown. There aren't any.
But there's a quarterback there, Charlie, and Jeff Hostetler. I mean, he's made mistakes. He's had some tough times. He does not need a skirt.
No, he's a throwback.
This guy is a tough quarterback. Not many quarterbacks in this league, unless they're really trying to prove a point, like you saw Bledsoe dive into a flip a couple weeks ago. That's Hostetler being Hostetler. And one thing he likes right now in the offense he's got, if you're in this part of the field, you better keep track of his tight end.
Raiders time of possession, almost 8 minutes, more than the Jets. He fires this one in zone, touchdown Oakland. And it is Darrell Hobbs, his first touchdown of the year.
Nice play call by Mike White's staff. Been running this play for a long time. You bring the guy in motion, you drag him back out afterwards, and just get yourself a quick little 6. But a good zip spot pass by Hostetler and a very important 6-point touchdown for the Raiders to go up after this extra point by 2 touchdowns.
Here is the extra point. It is good. It is now Oakland 20, New York 6, and the penalty gives the Raiders the opportunity for the touchdown. Ford will kick it away, and a good kick. Down in the end zone by Henry Bailey will bring it out to the 20-yard line. That scoring drive, remember, is only 46 yards in length, but it took 16 plays, and they used up more than 8 minutes on the clock.
And you mentioned that critical penalty against Mo Lewis, you know, big difference, 4 points, and that was the difference in that drive.
But it had been 4th down, they would have gone for the field goal.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to say, you know, Jeff Hostetler and the Raiders, they stepped up and did what they had to do. Remember I talked about in the first half about belief? If the other guy believes they got a shot, well, the Raiders just sort of turned to the New York Jets and Richie Kotite and said, hey, believe this.
Reich back to throw. He goes deep down the far side. Nice defensive play. Pins him right to the sideline. That was Larry Brown who made the play. Alex Van Dyke, the intended receiver. Ball comes back to the 20, 2nd and 10.
Larry Brown ain't gonna like this.
Defensive pass interference, number 24. First down.
Well, you remember the old saying, Charlie, the sideline is your friend, and if you're a cornerback, the sideline is your friend. You can sort of force people off into there.
Man, I don't believe that was interference. He had position on him, and he was looking back for the interception.
I don't see it at all. There was no major push-off. Larry Brown sort of got one there.
So with the penalty, the ball at the Jet 44-yard line. Right comes to this side, just straight to Henry Bailey. And Bailey is out suddenly at the Oakland 28-yard line, 27 yards on the play.
You might say, how does a guy that just got here to the team blend into an offense at wide receiver this quickly? Well, this guy was on the practice squad with the Steelers last year. He knows this offense that Ron Earhart likes to run. Most important thing he had going was waiting for that weather balloon to come down and be sure he had it before he worried about running with it.
And for Henry Bailey, that is his first ever NFL reception. Way to go, Henry. Here's Morrell. Tries the left side, goes to the 25-yard line. He has 3, 2nd down and 7. 13:40 time remaining in the game. Russell Maryland with the tackle.
Plenty of time left here in this 4th quarter, Charlie, 13:30 or so. And right now, you got to say the Jets still believe.
Yes. Miami leading by 1. Minnesota in front of Carolina as we check out the ticker of the other games going on. Green Bay big over Chicago.
Brett Favre is unbelievable this year.
Isn't he? He really is. 2nd and 7. Incomplete. Corbett, the intended receiver, and Reich was high. So it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Oh, Richie
at the 25-yard line.
Richie Kotite knows his backup quarterback got away with an interception waiting to happen there. You know, whether it's pass or not the right pattern or whatever, the people with the best shot at that one were wearing silver and black.
For those of you who may have just joined us, Neil O'Donnell, the starting quarterback for the Jets, on a sack, is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a 2nd-degree separation of his shoulder. And he has been replaced by Frank Wright. 3rd down and 7. The play clock was running down. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment.
Perfect for any game, Domino's has the perfect play. Choose from 3 delicious crusts. There's classic hand-tossed, crunchy thin crust, or go deep with thick ultimate deep dish. So make the call and have it all.
For hot and wild, call Domino's. Now!
Call now and try our new Roma herb crust or any large one-topping pizza for $9.99. Any second one-topping pizza, just $4.99.
All right, take care of yourself and call us.
Everything okay?
Now he's going to France to study painting.
I thought he was into photography.
Well, now he wants to be Monet. Last year in iced tea business, now this. I mean, why can't he find one thing and stick to it?
Well, he is your dad.
At Aetna Retirement Services, we not only help you build assets, but manage them as well. Build for retirement, manage for life.
I heard about this car that's supposed to be safe for you and your kids, but it's so expensive you probably couldn't afford to have kids and that car at the same time. How about a Chevrolet Cavalier? It comes with a safety cage, dual airbags, even standard anti-lock brakes. So for around $12,000, you really can get everything you want in a safe car, including kids. Who decided that only people who can afford expensive cars should be safe? Get the car that's easy to own, a Cavalier. Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now to enjoy a hot, delicious Domino's Pizza during the game. For hot and wow, call Domino's now.
Stay tuned this afternoon for our second game of the NFL doubleheader. Most of you to see the San Diego Chargers square off against the Denver Broncos. Others to see the undefeated Indianapolis Colts take on the Buffalo Bills. So stay with us this afternoon here on NBC. 2 very good ball games to follow this one. 3rd down and 7. Jets at the Oakland 25-yard line.
Let's see if it was worth the timeout.
13 minutes left. Here's pressure at to dump it off, and misses Adrian Morrell. Pat Swilling was in hot pursuit of Frank Reich. Swilling still looking for that half a sack to get him to the century mark in his career. We thought he had it in the San Diego game. In fact, we gave it to him. We asked him about it yesterday. He says, you know what? They took it away from me.
Yeah, well, this, you couldn't ask for a bigger time right now. You're talking 4th and 7. The Jets are in this situation. You know, against the Raiders, I think in this situation with 13 minutes go, I think you kick a field goal here, take your points, and take your chances. The Raiders giving you a shot later.
I agree. Reich throws and misses. He had pressure. And he was looking for a comeback pattern along the far sideline.
No, that was not a bad call by the officials. That was a bad call by the Jets. You take your points, you get up to 9, you go 20-9 and take your chances.
Over on downs at their own 25-yard line with just over 13 minutes left in the ball game. Joe Aska gets the call, and he has a yard to the 26.
Here's a definition, Charlie, of 2 guys not on the same page. Frank Reich is on one page, and Van Dyke, the rookie, might be in another book. Watch his left hand. He's begging for a fade. He's begging for the high floater. He's in the wrong spot as far as Frank Reich's concerned. He threw it underneath, nowhere near him. So, you know, not knowing the exact playbook, you don't know whose boo-boo that was, but the guy begging wasn't getting what he wanted.
Joe Aska is the fullback. Napoleon Kaufman is the tailback in this set. The 2 wide receivers. Little swing right side. This is Kaufman, and he is out of bounds. And he's only going to pick up about a yard. Hostler is hit again. Gary Jones had the coverage for New York. It'll be 3rd down.
Jeff Hostetler in this offense. Remember, this is a guy that's used to throwing the 3- and 5-step stuff and getting back there in that West Coast last year and just flicking it out and not taking too much of a beating. He is getting pummeled.
Yeah.
You know, it's always great to have a tough quarterback. It's never great when you got to find out how tough your quarterback is.
Hostetler 14 of 25, 145 yards. Not a lot of yardage. Raiders with the lead. 3rd down and 8. Flags everywhere. As the flags come down, so does Napoleon Kaufman.
And the Jets succumb to the Hostetler bark there and jump off sides. A bad mistake at a bad time for the Jets defense.
Defense, offside. The nose tackle was in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Remember earlier you said if the Jets can hang around, the Raiders will make mistakes. Usually they do with penalties and turnovers. However, the crucial mistakes here have been made by the Jets defense. They hit by Mo Lewis, and here this was 3rd down and 8, and you line up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, so far you're absolutely right. And Jim Vecchiarelli, the defensive coordinator, can't be happy about that. But Charlie, 11 and a half minutes to go. There is still a lot of room left for you to make mistakes.
Hostetler throws, pass is complete, coming to the sideline and sliding down underneath is Daryl Hobbs. Hobbs must have been, somewhere in his dreams, a former quarterback.
Oh,
as a quarterback slide.
Charlie, that looks weak. That looks like, oh God, what has he got? No guts? You know what he's got? He's got a pretty good sense about him right here. There's 11-something minutes left. You're going to stay in bounds and keep the clock running. Because look at the coaches on the sideline. That's what they're screaming. That's what Mike White right there is saying to him. Good move as soon as he gets up. Good move. You didn't stop it. Napoleon Kaufman ran out of bounds before when he could have done the same thing.
39-yard line. They pick up the 1st down, converting on 3rd and 3 after the penalty. Nice defensive play by Mo Lewis, jumping on the back of Joe Aska.
Well, that one, he didn't want to risk getting that fingernail's length away. He gets all over it. Coming from the back side of the play, here is a speed back being pursued by a speed linebacker on a fast surface. No chance does a running back have unless he's absolutely attacking the line of scrimmage and getting away from a guy like Mo Lewis backside.
Loss of about a half a yard on the play, 2nd down. Play action fake. Hostetler goes deep, has a man open, and he hits him. And it's James Jeff.
Wow. Remember what I talked about earlier? The Raiders are not a short, medium to long. They look long first. And this ball is up in the air a long time. Jet gets this pass. I mean, it might have gone about 35, 40 yards total, but that thing was up. It had hang time. You could have fair caught it, but using that speed, he's able to pull away from Mickens and make the hang time a non-factor.
His first reception for 34 yards. 1st down, 28-yard line of the Jets. To the outside is Joe Aska. To the 10, the 5, and did he make it? No, they're going to say he's just a half a step away. 27 yards on the play. It'll be 1st down and goal to go about a foot.
And Gary Jones coming from the safety position saves it, but remember the belief. You got to believe, and right now, this Raiders offense believes it has an advantage over a wounded and beleaguered defense of the Jets. Watch the feet. There it is. If the right foot counted as the ball had been 6 points hitting that pylon like that, but it's the left foot stepping out of bounds is where they mark it.
And we have an injury timeout. Gary Jones, a free safety for the Jets.
Round. Go for it.
Jerry Ball is the fullback. Defensive tackle. We asked him yesterday if he wanted to carry the ball. He said no. Ball is not open. The whole Aska is going to be stopped. He said, but they want to throw it to him. They can, but make sure I'm open.
Well, remember, Jerry Ball's a defensive tackle. If you don't give him somewhere to go, all he really is a 3rd defensive tackle for the defense. Look at the way things get stuffed up when ball goes to lead block. Nowhere to go. Hamilton, Lewis, and you get that big backside of Jerry Ball stuffed in the hole in front of a running back. That's got to be an awful intimidating sight for that guy with the ball, because he has got nothing to look at but unfriendly faces and Jerry Ball's back.
Out of Beaumont, Texas, an SMU 6'1", 325 pounds. Ball does not open the hole. And Aska stuffed again, this time by Mark Gunn.
Mo Lewis bones Jerry Ball in the hole.
Bone?
Boned him. That's when you take the forearm and you put that forearm bone right on the fullback. Watch Jerry Ball. Watch Mo Lewis. That is a bone. He stood Jerry Ball up. Ball talks about leverage all the time. That is a guy from the University of Georgia playing a little tough linebacker, putting the bone in Ball's chest.
They started a foot away. Now they're at the 2-yard line. Third down goal to go. Play action. Looking for a fade. No. Comes back to Ricky Dudley for the touchdown. Dudley's second of the ball game. So the quarterback to the tight end. Combination paying off for the Oakland Raiders.
Well, they got stuffed a couple of times. What'd they go back to? The quarterback's best friend in the red zone is a big tight end who can get away from the defender and who can catch. And Dudley is all of the above. And what a weapon this young man's going to be in the future. He has got nothing but great things ahead of him for a team that's got a lineage of great tight ends.
Here is the extra point attempt, and it is good. And the Raiders have this one in hand by 21, 27-6, and Hostetler's reaction. That's it, boys. 27-6. Back with the kickoff. You got to believe that. All right, Cole Ford is going to kick it away with Ronald Moore and Henry Bailey. The deep backs on the kickoff return now with 7:15 time remaining in the ballgame. And here is Bailey at the 9 to the 15. He's going to be carried out of bounds to about the 20-yard line. Speaking about,
they lend people a chance to dress like that.
Usually just on Halloween for the rest of the
Well,
world.
if you're a Jet plane, a Jet fan, what do you dress up like a plane? No, seriously.
Third plane from the sun.
Yeah, we were in Cincinnati last week. Bengals and Broncos.
Yeah.
What's the big deal about dressing up like a kitty cat and a horse? But if you're a Raiders fan, you know, see, a good reason to dress up like this too is if your mom happens to be watching, you can always lie that it wasn't you.
That's right.
Especially the guy in the Darth Vader helmet.
Now this is one of the.
The fun police are here.
Yeah, the fun police.
That's not an end zone dance. You can still be a fan, can't you?
From the shotgun, right scramble, throws, sideline. Did he get it? No. Alex Van Dyke, the intended receiver.
To kick at that point and keep it at 20-9.
Nice catch. This is Jeff Graham. That is his first reception of the ballgame. He is hobbled. He is playing with an injury. They did not expect him to play at all, but he came out here early and ran here about 9:30 this morning. Huddle up offense, and he is in there. First down pass is complete again to Graham, and he is out of bounds.
Oh, and you can really tell from the way he's staring down the throat at 0-6. When you're hurt, you play.
Oakland leads it 27-6. 5:48 and counting. Right deep over the middle is incomplete. Looking again to Jeff Graham. I think the defense is going to figure that out, that he's really looking to Graham first.
Well, he's going to do leaf and starch out of Richie's Jets right there.
Right from the shotgun. Sideline pattern is incomplete. Going to Wayne Corbett. Now it's fourth down. You trail by 21 points, and you have 5:41 left. You go for it.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you're 0-5, staring at 0-6. You've spent $60-70 million in the offseason. I mean, you get out the dice and you roll them, because there's not a whole lot of positive stuff going on right now if you're wearing the green. The most positive thing going for the Jets this year has been the performance of the #1 pick in the draft this year, Keyshawn Johnson, and he got a scope on his knee Thursday.
He says he'll be back in 2 or 3 weeks. The pass is did he hang on to it? Yes, he did. And we have a flag dropped at the 50-yard line. Good grab by Corbett. Corbett has those great hands. They say in practice he never drops the ball, and very seldom in a game does it. Again from the shotgun. And pressure going deep down the sideline and overthrows everybody. Darren Carrington got turned around, but 2nd and 10. Pass is complete to Jeff Graham. That is his 4th reception, and remember, he just came in on this drive.
And you talk about playing hurt. Got that knee last week against Washington on Sunday night. He's limping, he's dragging his leg, but he's still doing it. There's plenty of character on this team for the Jets. The main problem is there ain't much talent.
Has the first down. Overthrows everybody. Van Dyke.
And I don't count Johnny Mitchell. Before you even say Johnny Mitchell, I don't count Johnny Mitchell.
Jeff Graham very slowly leaving the ball game. Nice touch, but he overthrows. Richie Anderson, we got a flag down at the 21-yard line.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 46. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's on Carl. With the automatic first down, the ball at the 33-yard line, again from the shotgun. Has a man open and way overthrows him. It's Van Dyke again. Like misses him by about 5 yards.
Hanging. They're beaten by a better team right now.
Dyke's pass is complete. It is Alex Van Dyke on this side. That is his 3rd reception of the ball game. On the other hand, though, the Jets, speaking in behalf of Rich Kotite, I'm not sure that I have seen a ball club that has been injured as much, and they continue to lose some key players to injury. Webster Slaughter has lost in this ball game, along with their starting quarterback.
Yeah, but Charlie, to be honest with you, I mean, losing teams tend to find a way to get hurt, it seems, which is really weird. I mean, his team's at Philadelphia this last year or so found a way to get hurt. The injuries killed him there. The injuries are killing him here. But, I mean, that's part of the business. It's part of being a player. It's part of being a coach. And it's part of the realities of how a coach does and doesn't keep his job.
2nd and 18, 30-yard line, far side. Pass is complete. Henry Bailey has the catch. Larry Brown chases him. Let's go down to Lynn Berman. Lynn?
Charlie, fans wonder if Leon Hess would make a coaching move. After all, the Jets would be 0-6 now. That's 10 straight losses for Kotite here. But only once in the history of the Jets has a coach been fired in midseason. And you have to go back 21 years to Charlie Winters. So it's just not the way Leon Hess operates.
And we're now operating with 3:56 of time remaining. They're down and 8. That's a good point.
Yeah, but from my point of view, Charlie, this is an organization and a team that if Don Shula would have had the Baltimore Colts ready to play that day, this would just be another losing ball club.
Corbett to the 2-yard line. Flag is down. Carrington with a tackle. Corbett leads the NFL with 12 third down receptions coming into this ball game. If this stands, that will be his 13th third down reception. The penalty is against the Raiders. They'll refuse it. They'll take the play.
Well, they're finding a way to get up there.
Had the magic that week, and they had it that entire season. It's like they were Destiny's team. All alone in the end zone is Alex Van Dyke. And that is his first touchdown in the National Football League.
And Charlie, he is enjoying it.
Well, he should.
He's finally got a chance to show what he would do after he caught a touchdown. You got a chance to see it. You think they're in a little confusion right here between McDaniel and Larry Brown? Look at him. McDaniel looks at Brown. Brown looks at McDaniel. The other 9 guys in the field look at those 2 guys, and the coaches go, oh, man.
First touchdown the ball game for the Jets.
Didn't we go over that?
Yeah, we covered that. The extra point is good. It is 27-13. Oakland leading with 3:48 time remaining in the ball game.
Year in and year out. How about the job that is being done by that entire group with Lindy and Fonnie at Indianapolis? You talk about injuries. How many injuries have the Colts had this year? They're still unbeaten, and they've had most of their key players go down with injuries.
There's a face from the past. That Ben Davidson on the sideline?
That's a few of them right there on the sideline.
I recognized Ben immediately.
But, I mean, those Colts, Charlie, it's amazing. We talked about, you know, a losing team.
Has to go 10 yards. Comes back, hooking it back to the near side. This is Jeff Gossett. Gossett, the punter for the Raiders, who pulls it down. Nice play.
Sign that guy up.
Yeah, look at that. He's got good hands.
Hey, he's a punter. There's a punter, but we might want to move him into the athlete category. Now, there's some old opponents. You got Ben Davidson with the white goatee. That's Phil Villapiano right there, another former ex-Raider great. Otis Sistrunk and the sunglasses. That is three guys responsible for a lot of the intimidation, the mystique that went along with that Raiders defense.
And all the stories they can tell.
They sure could.
And most of them are true.
You know, and if they were playing today, Dennis Rodman was on Third Rock a couple weeks ago. Those guys might have a running role on Third Rock of the Sun the way they were, the characters they were when they were playing with the Raiders.
Joe Aska, the ball carrier. The Jets take a timeout. You know, when you spend too much time on airplanes, you start looking up things. Keyshawn Johnson, Marvin Jones, and Hugh Douglas. Halloween is upon us.
Well, you can get out the white out and fill that 5 into a 6.
Popping through is Joe Aska, and he's still on his feet. What a continuing effort to the 25-yard line.
Charlie,
27 yards. Can you believe he didn't play at all last year?
Albert Lewis and Pat Swilling told us yesterday, we've got some young guys that have really got to step to the plate. Kidd is a returner has stepped to the plate. And you might have seen the birth of one heck of a Raider running back in Aska today.
NBC Monday.
Just a red letter day for this guy right here. Aska, 20 rushes, 106 yards, and a coming out party in the best city I can think of in the NFL. If you're going to have one, you might as well have it here.
We'll go back to his last run. Rick Cunningham at a false start. He's now tight end.
False start, 68 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You see all the speed and quickness, and now you're going to see the strength. 1, 2 Jets, drag him down, won't go down. You know, that was part gravity and just part the fact that
and a lot of Aska.
You notice who's on the end of that tackle there, though? Gary Jones, 25, another tackle.
First down and 15. And here he is again, and he pops loose.
See ya.
And there is his first touchdown of his NFL career from 30 yards out.
There's 2 young guys you'll see a lot of. Ricky Dudley and Joe Aska. Mike White, you've got yourself a football player in this young man.
And what you were talking about, Jerry Ball's statement, you're right, he is stepping up.
And he's doing it what he does. I mean, look at that. There's the strength. He runs right over Hamilton, who steps up in the middle linebacker position. And then he puts on some of that 4-3 speed. One more time. Aska 1, Hamilton nothing. 6 points for the Raiders. It's about to be 34-13.
High snap, pulled down, extra point is good. It is 34-13. And Aska now has rushed for 136 yards with 3:20 to go. The Oakland Raiders lead the New York Jets 34-13.
You know,
a childhood accident. Cole Ford is going to kick it off for the Oakland Raiders. Here is Henry Bailey on the return after the 15. Pushes one of his own men, and then he is pushed down near the 20-yard line by Mike Morton. Snoopy, a big football fan. Well, he's enjoying today's game between the Oakland Raiders and the New York.
Front of the boat there.
That's right. He's in front of the blimp. A nice watch, good pair of loafers, and right in the front of the blimp. That's what it's all about. Here's Morrell. He slips out of one tackle, and he ends up going out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Jets are 4-1, along with Kansas City, identical 4-1. Those 3 are atop the West. Reich has completed only 50% of his passes, 14 of 28, 174 yards. Here's the draw, the handoff underneath to Morrell. The Raiders said they wanted to stop the Jet rushing attack and force O'Donnell, who then went out with that second-degree shoulder separation. They wanted their quarterback to beat him throwing.
Well, you know, they made him one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You got him low.
Almost intercepted. Almost picked up.
Reich went down pretty hard there.
Yes, he did. Lorenzo Lynch tried to pick off the interception, and Reich comes up limping.
Just to follow up on that, Charlie, they made him one-dimensional, but the dimension usually is you stop the rush and you make them pass. The Jets ran the ball effectively early. What they shut down, the dimension they gave them was the run. They weren't able to throw the ball effectively against the Raiders. That was the dimension they took away, not the run.
Adrian Morrell has rushed for 102 yards. Brian Hansen will be kicking to Darrell Hobbs. Doesn't turn over, fair catch is called for, and take it to the 33-yard line, and here is a flag. A flag along the near sideline. 38. Joe Hobart is now the quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. And as expected, they want to work the clock. Tim Hall, the rookie taken in the 5th round, is the ball carrier. He's stopped by Matt Brock. And we're moving upon the 2-minute warning, time remaining in the game. And again, the Jets cannot stop the clock. They're out of timeouts. And don't forget the second half of the doubleheader as you're watching the NFL on NBC. 2-minute warning. We'll step aside. We'll be back in just a moment.
Off the mat about 8 times.
Yes.
That doesn't go into those stats.
Second down and 8. Tim Hall again gets the call. And the Raiders now will simply take all the time in the world. Matt Brock with the tackle for the New York Jets. Next Sunday, Oakland returns home. They will host the Detroit Lions. The New York Jets will be on the road at Jacksonville. The Raiders, their record now will be 2-4. And the New York Jets, their record will move to 0-6. The Jets have been outscored in the second half this season, 77 points to 35 points. Oakland 34-13. And again, Hall with the carry.
You know, Charlie, the Raiders came out in this game and they eventually beat a team they should have beat up and beat. And you got to say, you know, not all the teams always do that when we see them around the league during the week.
Well, the Raiders did what they came to town to do, to capture their second victory. And hopefully for them, this is their first step back in the road in the West. Andrew Glover, who we've seen as a tight end, a receiver, and also as a blocking fullback, comes limping off. And Oakland will take a timeout. That stops the 3 yards in the ball game. The Jets 111. 223 rushing. Very impressive.
Well, that'll do it, and that's what they should have done.
Yes.
Against a defense missing the, Marvin Joneses and Hugh Douglases and whatnot. You've got to do that against it, and exactly what they did, running with quick, good inside runs.
Yep, Gossett with a catch. It takes a jet roll. It'll be down. Dan Land downs it, 23 yards. So the Jets will have one more opportunity, but with only 19 seconds left in the ball game.
And with Neil O'Donnell out, remember, 4 to 6 weeks with that second-degree separation. The most important thing, I think, for the Jets right here is if you're going to throw the ball out of this shotgun, you better make absolutely sure you take care of that ankle and that body of Frank Rice.
Deep over the middle. This one is intercepted. Lorenzo Lynch has the interception.
Just when you think, hey, it couldn't get any worse, could it?
Then she was an all-city running back at Oakland High School and even sold hot dogs and peanuts at the Coliseum. Is the leading tackler for the Raiders and has his first interception of the year. Tacks on a 29-yard return. Now with 9 seconds left, all that the Raiders have to do is kneel down, and this game is history.
Yep, snap it and hatch it.
And that's exactly what Billy Joe Hobart is going to do.
I came through.
And he does. And so that wraps up the game this afternoon here at the Meadowlands. The New York Jets are now 0-6. Raiders are 2-4. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, game 2 of our doubleheader. Many of you to see the Chargers against the Broncos. Others to see the undefeated Colts take on the Buffalo Bills. For Lynn Berman and Randy Cross, I am Charlie Jones. Once again, the final score, Oakland 34, Jets 13. So long for the Meadowlands.
Third quarter, Al's team leading 10-3 on the Bear 5-yard line. Jeff Hostetler eludes Alonzo Spellman, and then a little touch pass, not a shuttle pass, a little touch pass to Tim Brown. Raiders lead 17-3. But here come the Bears. Still in the third quarter, same score. Different team with the ball. Dave Craig. Rashaan Salam. First TD reception of his career. Bears down 17-10. 4.5 minutes remaining. Bears down 17-16. Rashaan Salam slams up the middle for a 17-yard gain. Would ex-Raider Jeff Jaeger get a chance to beat his old mates? Bears on the Raider 48, less than 3.5 minutes to go. Craig, gritty, gutty, veteran. Curtis Conway, 17-yard gain. Jeff Jaeger, what's he thinking? Where is he? He's right there. Field goal attempt. What's Al Davis thinking? 30 seconds to go. 30-yard field goal. Ball game. But watch the replay. After the kick, Jaeger slips after the boot, but the kick was still good. There are actually a couple of Raiders who came over to say congratulations after their former teammate kicked the game winner. I hope Al wasn't watching. The Bears break a 3-game slide.